Have you ever told people about a big dream, only to slowly lose the motivation to actually pursue it afterward? That's exactly the problem highlighted in Pama's story. He has countless ambitions, but every time he comes up with a new idea, he rushes to share it with the entire village. The praise makes him feel proud and excited, but it quietly steals away his drive to take action. Stay with this story. Until the end, you might just discover why some of your own dreams were left unfinished. Pama lived in a small village where everyone knew each other and was always curious about new stories. He was a young man full of dreams. His mind was constantly filled with big plans. One moment he wanted to open a famous pottery workshop, the next he dreamed of building the most beautiful house in the village. And at times he was determined to create a grand woodworking shop. But there was something unusual about Pama. Every week he had a new plan, and instead of taking action, he chose to tell everyone about it. One morning, Pama walked into the busy marketplace, where people were trading and chatting. Standing in the middle of the crowd, he shouted, "I'm going to open the biggest shop in the village." People turned to look at him, then began clapping and cheering. Praise echoed all around. "That's amazing! You'll definitely succeed." Pama smiled proudly. He felt important, as if he had already become successful in their eyes. That night, he slept deeply, carrying with him a sense of happiness and satisfaction. But the next morning, when he sat down to begin his work, Pama felt strangely tired. The energy and excitement from the day before had vanished. He delayed, telling himself he would start tomorrow. Days passed, and the shop remained nothing more than words. No bricks were laid. No plans were put into motion. Before long, Pama had another idea. This time, he decided to learn pottery. He gathered everyone in the village square and loudly declared, "I will make the most beautiful clay pots. Everyone will buy from me." Once again, the crowd applauded, praised him, and encouraged him. Their admiring eyes made Pama feel special. He went home with that same sense of success and slept peacefully, as if everything had already been accomplished. But just a few days later, the same pattern repeated. Pama lost interest in pottery. He didn't touch the clay, didn't create a single pot. His bold words slowly faded away, leaving behind a strange emptiness inside him. This cycle continued for years. Pama kept announcing his dreams, one after another. People always welcomed his ideas, always praised him. But in the end, his hands remained empty. There were no products, no results, no real change in his life. Gradually, Pama began to feel ashamed. He couldn't understand why he kept failing, despite having so many ideas. Every time he saw others achieve something, his heart grew heavier. He realized that he didn't lack dreams, he lacked action. And deep down, he felt trapped by his own words, unable to break free. One heavy-hearted afternoon, Pama sat quietly beside the village's old well, carrying the weight of his unfinished dreams and growing disappointment. At that moment, an elder approached him and gently asked what was troubling him. After listening to Pama pour out everything in his heart, the old man did not criticize him. He simply smiled and invited Pama to come to the small garden behind his house the next morning. There, he handed Pama 2 seeds. One seed was carefully buried in the soil and covered well, while the other was placed on a rock, left exposed for everyone to see. From that simple image, a deep and meaningful lesson began to unfold before Pama's eyes. Many days passed, and Pama often returned to the elder's garden to observe the 2 seeds. He was surprised to see that the seed buried in the soil had slowly begun to sprout, and with each passing week, it grew a little more in silence. In contrast, the seed left on the rock remained exposed under the sun, drying out over time, and was even pecked away piece by birds. After a few weeks, a healthy young plant stood in the soil, while the other seed had disappeared completely. That striking contrast left Pama silent in deep thought. Standing before the 2 seeds, with completely different fates, Pama slowly began to understand what the elder was trying to teach him. The old man gently explained that a person's dreams are much like a tiny seed. When they are still fragile, they need to be kept in silence, protected in darkness, and nurtured with steady patience each day. If they are exposed too early through boasting or bold declarations, they can lose their strength before they ever have the chance to grow. The elder also explained that when we talk too much about our plans, the mind can easily confuse words with real achievement, making us feel as though we have already succeeded. And because of that, the fire to take action slowly fades away. Hearing this, Pama fell silent because he realized that for all those years, this was exactly how he had been losing his dreams. After truly absorbing the elder's lesson, Pama decided to completely change the way he lived. He no longer went around telling everyone about his big plans, like before. Instead, he chose silence and simply began. Pama set himself a simple goal: to build a wooden chair with his own hands. Every day after finishing his work, he would quietly go to a small corner to carve, saw, fix mistakes, and learn from each error. Some days he felt excited, while on others he was completely exhausted. But this time he did not give up. When the first chair was finally finished, Pama experienced real pride for the first time, not from praise, but from the result of his own actions. From the moment he completed his first chair, Pama began to regain confidence in himself. For the first time in his life, he understood that dreams don't grow through bold declarations. They grow through persistence and consistent action every single day. That chair was not just an ordinary piece of furniture. It was proof that he was capable as long as he truly took action. From that point on, Pama stopped rushing to talk about his plans. Instead, he worked quietly, starting with that first chair. He made a small table, then a simple cabinet, and gradually more household items. Every piece had flaws, but Pama didn't give up. He fixed each mistake, learned new techniques, and became more skillful over time. Slowly, the people around him began to notice his work. Some ordered a chair, others asked for a table, and soon families were requesting wooden cabinets. Each small order brought him not only income, but also growing confidence. A year later, Pama was no longer the man who only talked about dreams. He had become a respected craftsman in the village, and he even opened his own small woodworking workshop. If you've made it this far, don't stop at just feeling inspired. Turn it into action. Right now, make a promise to yourself that you will start doing the very thing you've been putting off for so long. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to begin and stay consistent every single day. Comment 9. To commit to taking action and to remind yourself. Starting today, talk less and focus on doing more.